Monster, no, you are wrong. I am a god.
I'm Rex Paradox, the greatest man who ever lived, and today on the program I am reviewing my favorite new movie. Not my favorite movie that's new, just my favorite new movie. Dragon Ball Super Broly. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. I'm not a fanboy anymore, but I'm a big fan. I used to be a fanboy. And my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z were always Broly and Gogeta. And both of these motherfuckers are in this motherfucking movie. So, I waited till now to do it because I don't think the movie's in theaters anymore, or it might be, but like it's been out long enough where I don't consider anything to be spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the movie, I guess it's a spoiler review, but I don't give a fuck about none of that shit because I fucking love this movie, dude. I love this movie. So, if you didn't know, the original Dragon Ball Z had a bunch of non-canon movies, and movie number 8 was Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, which is my favorite, probably like one of my favorite anime movies of all time. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely top 5. And it's two characters in the movie, two Saiyans, Broly and his father Paragus. And I guess someone at fucking Toei or Toriyama, he was like, yo, like, we about to make these dudes canon. And it's another Saiyan in the movie who wasn't canon before, and that's Bardock, who was from Bardock the father of Goku. And I guess some fucking scenes in Dragon Ball Z. I'm not really sure which one came first, but these are the 3 characters who become canon in this movie. And man, I'm like, I've seen Bardock die a lot of times, but like, seeing him die in this movie, it was actually pretty dramatic this time to me. I'm like, damn son, Bardock just died. Like, this nigga just got destroyed. I'm like, damn dude. It really hit me in this movie. And I appreciate that, because I've seen it so many times, it had no weight. Because the whole just origin story, the backstory for all these characters is completely different from the non-canon Dragon Ball Z movies that they had. Way different. And I appreciate the direction they took this movie in because of that. So, in the original Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Saiyan, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan movie, there's the situation where Broly's too powerful as a child. He has the power. He has a power level of 10,000 when he's a baby. And power levels don't really mean shit in Dragon Ball, but like they kind of do, but they kind of don't. And there's this scene, it's like the whole premise of the movie, his backstory is just the king of the Saiyans, King Vegeta. He was like, okay, this baby's too dangerous. Like, we gotta kill this little motherfucker. We straight up, like, they tried to kill Broly and Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan when he was a baby. They stabbed his ass, threw him in the trash. Now, personally, I felt like that was a better backstory to the kind of character that they were trying to build back then versus the one that they have now. But it's like, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan and Dragon Ball Super Broly are just two completely different directions for a character. Two completely different directions. The tragic backstory is not as tragic. It's not even really a tragic backstory. I mean, like, it kind of is, depending on how you want to look at it. But, like, it's not really a tragic backstory anymore. He wasn't just, like, stabbed and thrown in the trash. He was exiled as a baby. It's pretty much the same situation. It's like, he's potentially too powerful, or he might be too powerful one day, and because of this, he's a danger. Now, that's pretty much just Broly's, like, whole backstory right there. That's his whole backstory. He's exiled, you know, sent to this fucking deserted planet where really it can't really sustain life. It's like, yo, you send a baby here, like, that baby gonna die. Realistically, that baby's probably gonna die. So here's where it gets interesting to me, and like it really deviates from the original story, other than him being stabbed as a baby. Paragus, his father, he's like, yo, fuck this shit, nigga. Fuck this. I'm gonna save my son. And it's still like some similarities from the original movie, which I kind of don't understand, like, why Paragus is so angry. It's like, okay, so Paragus, King Vegeta just straight up tells him, it's like, yo, I exiled your son. The nigga's too dangerous. And Paragus is like, dude, why? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you just jealous. Straight up, he said some shit like, you're just jealous because my son's more powerful than yours is. Or he has more potential than your son does. And Paragus is just like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna get my son back, nigga. Like, I'm gonna raise him to be a mighty warrior and shit, and then one day I'm gonna have my revenge. And it's like, I feel like Paragus, like, he has the same energy from Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, where he's just like consumed by fucking hatred for fucking King Vegeta, and he just wants his revenge. And it's like, I get that your son's exiled, but I mean, King Vegeta could have just killed the nigga. Like, come on, Paragus. Come on. So, Paragus, he steals a ship. He goes to this planet where Broly is. Paragus is with, like, some other random Saiyan, too, who, like, hopped in the ship for whatever fucking reason. And these two, they end up on this planet. They end up finding Broly. Turns out Broly isn't dead. He's killed, like, some fucking bugs or whatever fucking life forms live on the planet. He's killed these motherfuckers. He's been eating them and shit. He's using their bodies to survive. And it's this scene where their ship gets damaged. And because they're damaged, like, they can't repair it. So they're just stranded here. They're just, like, they're straight up just stranded on this planet. No way to get out of there. I don't think they can make, like, the space travel, whatever the fuck. Like, I don't think they could do it. I don't think they could make the trip, like, off the planet and find another planet. They probably, like, fucking freeze to death or some shit. I don't know. It's not explained. It's just like they're trapped on this planet for like 40 years. I think they're trapped on the planet for 41 years. I'm not entirely sure how old Broly is in the movie. Like, they don't ever give you the numbers. But the whole, just the main story of the movie happens 41 years later. So, there you go. Timeline-wise, 41 years later. This movie is after the Tournament of Power. All that shit with Jiren and the Zenos, like, that's happened already. They make it pretty clear it's happened, too. And Frieza's been resurrected. He's alive again. Fast forward, modern day time, 41 years later. You got these two Frieza soldiers. Frieza's out here trying to rebuild his fighting force, the Frieza Force. And these two soldiers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, it's some green bitch and some orange guy. I don't care what their names are. I don't care. Personally, I don't like either one of these characters, but they're drama breakers. I'll put it like that. I'm not gonna say they're comedic relief. They're just drama breakers. Like, they break up some of the tension. That's their position in the story. So these two, they're fucking looking for people to join the Frieza Force and shit, and they find Broly and Paragus, and I'm like, okay, this is how Broly and Paragus get off this fucking wasteland of a planet. This is how they get off this wasteland of a planet. Like, I don't really have any problem with this. This is a good way to get them off of here. It explains a lot. It's like, okay, well, they were here the whole time. They couldn't leave the planet. Here comes these motherfuckers and they can save them, you know? I don't get why these motherfuckers happen to just be drifting out here to this planet where it just happens to be this distress signal that's still going on. And I'm like, it's kind of iffy to me, but I'm like, you know what? This is a good way to introduce them into the story, and it explains why they didn't show up before. It also makes me question, I'm like, so was there a Broly in the Future Trunks timeline? I mean, on paper there should be, right? Like, there was a Broly in that timeline. He's just stuck on that planet forever. Like, when Zeno destroy, you know what? I'm going off topic, but I'm like, yo, it's multiple Brolys out there now. Officially, canonically, it's multiple Brolys out there. So, you know, fast forward some more, and Broly meets Frieza, blah blah blah, such and such. They end up on Earth because Frieza's like, yo, I want to test this Saiyan against these other Saiyans, meaning Goku and Vegeta. And eventually, you know, fast forward some more, you get to the point where Broly, Goku, and Vegeta, they all meet each other. And Broly doesn't have, like, any just straight up, like, you know, vengeance or hostility towards Goku in this movie. It's none of that, oh, he was crying next to me when I was a baby thing. Which I never thought was, like, super stupid. It was kind of, like, lazily explained in the original movies, but it's none of that. He doesn't just, like, straight up hate Goku. However, Broly's like a rageaholic in this movie. He's just like fucking screaming the whole time. Just he's like, it's like an on-site thing for him. He will just fight anybody. He will fight anybody off of nothing. He will fight anyone off of nothing. It's just like, yo, this nigga looked at my shoes the wrong way. Like, it's that kind of shit. He will just fight someone off of nothing. Now, this is where the movie pops off. Broly starts fighting Vegeta. Vegeta goes through pretty much all his forms. You know, Broly's fighting him in his base form. Vegeta turns Super Saiyan. Broly's still holding his own. Vegeta turns Super Saiyan God, and like it activates this thing in Broly where he's getting some of the grade 8 power. I don't know how the fuck. It's just he had the shit. He has the ability to just have the grade 8 power. And it's like he's holding his own against Vegeta and Super Saiyan God, just regular Super Saiyan God, not Super Saiyan Blue, holding his own. And I have to say, like, the animation is fucking amazing in this movie. It is not some typical Dragon Ball animation. It's like it's some. I feel like it's like different art styles, but it's like, yo, the animation in this show reminds me more like Mob Psycho or Gurren Lagann or even fucking One Punch Man is sometimes. It's like, yo, the animation is way interesting. So anyway, Broly, he's holding his own against Vegeta, and here comes Goku, and Goku wants his turn. And this is like where the animation kind of starts like going on the uphill to me. Because when Goku comes in the fight, he's doing more martial arts based moves. So it's like there's a more fluidity in the way that the animation goes. It's like it's a lot of kung fu influence in the shit. Like if you ever seen like some Chinese kung fu movie, or like what I don't remember what the fuck they call them, but like like the Hong Kong specials, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's like it's a lot of influence into that. It's not they're just throwing punches. It's like this is some technique-based fighting that they're doing. And I'm like, I really appreciated that. I wholeheartedly appreciated that. Now, here's the thing, though. It switches from, I'm not going to call it let's say, hand-drawn to CGI in some instances. And I'm like, personally, I didn't have a problem with the CGI because I watched Berserk. Yeah, I watched the CGI Berserk. So I'm like, okay, I'm used to CGI personally. If you haven't watched the movie, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. I don't think the CGI is bad, but like I feel like they should have just kept it hand drawn the whole movie. But you know what? Hey, CGI saves you money and stuff, man. It saves you money. One of my favorite things I saw in the movie was at one point during Broly and Goku's fight, there's this scene where it's like it just switches to like some POV. So you're seeing the fight from the perspective of Broly, and that shit is amazing, dude. Oh my, I was losing my shit watching this motherfucking movie, dude. It's so good. The animation in this movie is phenomenal. It's not the best animation I've ever seen, but it is phenomenal. Especially if you watched all of Dragon Ball Super, where the animation is garbage. The animation in Super is garbage. So I'm like, watching this movie, it tells me that I'm like, okay, this is the same franchise I loved as a child. And through some of my teenage years. It's like, this movie got me into Dragon Ball again. It made me appreciate it more. Because, like, the Super anime, man, it's just a mess. But this movie, it redeems the whole thing. The whole thing. So, Broly and Goku are fighting. It gets to the point where Goku, he goes Super Saiyan God, and, like, he's trying to calm Broly down. He's trying to talk him down. It's like, yeah, man, you don't have to fight. You don't have to. You don't have to listen to other people. And I'm like, Goku really wants to fight this nigga, but he's like, man, you don't have to fight to kill. That's like kind of the vibe I got. It's like, you don't have to fight to kill. You don't have to be somebody else's weapon. And Broly, he's just like, fuck this shit, nigga, I'm fighting. He doesn't say anything. Whole lot of screaming. Whole lot of screaming. Just like a whole, he's still angry, man. He wants to fight. He has no control over himself because of this power up he got. So it gets to the point where Goku goes Super Saiyan God. Broly like beats the shit out of him like the Hulk did in the first Avengers movie, the Loki. He's just like slamming this nigga into the ground. He's fucking I think he like drags his face across like an iceberg or some shit. Some fucking ice something at some point. And he just like throws this nigga like he's a javelin. He just throws Goku like he's a javelin. You know, Piccolo, he chimes in. Goku and Piccolo, they're they have some type of telepathy. It's never explained why they can do shit like that. But they're talking to each other telepathically. And Piccolo's like, damn, son, like, what the fuck is going on over there? Goku's like, yo, like, I don't, you might need to come over here, but like, nigga, you need to stay there, because I'm gonna probably have to get the fuck up out of here. And this is, the next scene that happens is Goku turns Super Saiyan Blue from Super Saiyan God for the first time ever. It's like a legit Super Saiyan transformation. I'm like, yo, Sean Schemmel was probably like destroying his vocal cords doing that transformation. He was screaming, he was fucking pulling that shit the fuck off, dude. Like, yo, I ain't heard Sean Schemmel do a screech like that in a long time. In a long time. So, first ever Super Saiyan transformation from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue. I appreciated that. I'm like, it answered a lot of questions. I'm like, why haven't they done this before? Answered a lot of questions for me. Now, it really doesn't matter to Goku and Super Saiyan Blue, because, like, Broly's still on this nigga's ass. However, it gets to the point where I say they're more of a match. Like, Broly can't just manhandle him anymore. And Frieza, this evil son of a bitch, he decides, it's like, okay, I want to see Broly do some more shit. And he has a flashback to when he kills Krillin and Goku turns Super Saiyan for the first time. Because Broly, he can't turn Super Saiyan yet. So what Broly, what fucking Frieza does, he just death beams Paragus, kills that nigga, and he's like, this was kind of funny to me, but it was like fucked up at the same time. It's like, it's the dark humor. It was some real dark humor. And Frieza's like, oh no, was us a random fucking energy blast killed your father, and Broly turns Super Saiyan. And like, this is where the movie, like, this shit turns up. It turns up. So, here comes Vegeta, he's back in the fight. Super Saiyan Blue too, and you know, Broly, he's fighting Goku and Vegeta. They're both Super Saiyan Blue. At one point, Goku's like, yo, fuck this, like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Instant transmissions. First they fly over to Frieza though, so they, like, Broly just starts fucking beating the shit out of Frieza, and Goku and Vegeta, they instant transmission away, and they go to Piccolo's position, and Goku convinces Vegeta that, yo, like, we need to do the fusion dance and become whatever the fuck we're going to become, because that's the only way we're going to beat this guy. There's no other way we can beat this guy. So after 2 failed fusion attempts, Goku and Vegeta, they finally get this shit right. They're like, yo, we got to come up with a name. Oh yeah, 2 failed fusion attempts. Nice throwback to the Fusion Reborn movies. Meaning, Frieza survived fighting Broly for a whole hour. I was like, yo, yeah, Frieza, he's a durable motherfucker. He survived getting his ass beat for an hour against this motherfucking monster. Survives for an hour. Here comes Gogeta. They decide on a name. I felt like it was a little, it's like a lot of, I'm not gonna say like a lot of subtle comedy, but like there's a fair amount of comedy in this.
Now hold on a sec. Having a name would definitely make us sound much cooler. This time it'll be Gokuja, Vekujo, how about Gogeta?
I feel like this movie covers all this bases. Action, comedy, drama. I'm not gonna say, it's maybe a little romance. I don't know, it depends on how you want to look at that. Yeah, the movie covers this basis well. So, here comes Gogeta. He's in a fight. He's doing his thing. He's fighting Broly. Turns Super Saiyan. At one point, they're shooting energy beams at each other. And some shit happens where all I can say is like, it looks like they end up in another dimension. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just like they're fucking just wrecking each other in this other dimension. And in this other dimension, Gogeta's like, yo, time to turn Super Saiyan Blue. So he turns Super Saiyan Blue. And that's pretty much like the end of the fight. You know, like they're still going at it. They get back to normal reality. I guess like they broke out of the other reality dimension, whatever. Like, it's not explained where the fuck they were. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? I lost my shit when this shit. I was like, what the fuck? I was legit just like, oh shit. I was straight up in the movie theater. I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is like some throwbacks to like the games and shit. I'm like, yo, I feel like this movie was just like taken out of my fucking 10-year-old brain. My fucking, just like, I fucking 8 to like 14-year-old brain where I was just like this huge Dragon Ball Z fan. Like, it's just like straight, I could have like made it feels like all these ideas I just made. I'm like, yo, I feel like Toriyama was probably like, he was looking at like some fucking fanfics or whatever the fuck, some fan stories, and he was like, yo, like, let's throw this shit in a movie. No one will notice. Cause I'm like, yo, yeah, when they fucking battle out of that dimension. So anyway, gets to the point, Gogeta, he's got Broly on the ropes. He breaks out, you know, he's like shooting his ass with whatever the fuck energy blast. At one point, he breaks out the Stardust Breaker or the Soul Punisher, whatever you want to call it. Again, a nice callback to Fusion Reborn. It doesn't kill Broly, but it's like Broly's in danger now. He's legitimately like, he's on the ropes. And one plot point that I did not bring up earlier is that Frieza had collected the 7 Dragon Balls. He sent his soldiers to the planet to collect the 7 Dragon Balls. And this is where the orange bitch and the green bitch and the orange guy, they come into the story again. Because they steal the Dragon Balls and they just end up wishing Broly back to the planet that he grew up on. Well, just not planet Vegeta. It's the planet he was stranded on for 41 years. And that's pretty much the movie. Towards, like, I'm not gonna say, yeah, like, the last scene in the movie is just, okay, Goku ends up on his planet, he instant transmissions to the planet where Broly is, and he's like, he gives him some capsules that Bulma cooked up for him, it's like a home in there, some shit, some fucking other shit, and he's like, this is the one line that, like, had me like, yeah. Goku's like, don't call me Goku, you can call me Kakarot. Which is a throwback to a line that he says in Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, where he's like, some people call me, some friends call me Kakarot, but you're not my friend. And I'm like, you know what? That was a nice little throwback. Some people call me Kakarot, but you're not. It's something along those lines. That's pretty much the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I haven't seen an anime movie in a while that, like, really, especially like a shonen style anime movie that's as good quality as this. I'm not saying like it's this fucking super fantastic amazing movie. It's not like the best movie I've ever seen, but it does what it needs to do. It really does. It does a lot of what it needs to, and I wholeheartedly appreciate that. And that's my movie review. When the Blu-ray comes out, I'm gonna buy that shit. I'm gonna buy it. Hell yeah, I might buy 2 copies. I don't know. Like, if they got a special collector's edition or something, I'm gonna buy that motherfucker. Let it come with a figure or something, you know, I'm gonna buy it. I hope we don't see Broly in the anime, though. I hope that does not happen. Because I felt like they reached a point where, okay, he came in with quality. And, like, when you try to bring a character back into the story and it's not that quality, it's like, it never plays as good. So I hope like Broly's more just like a movie thing, or honestly I kind of hope like he would get a spin-off or something. For the longest time I hoped that they wouldn't get Broly in Dragon Ball Super. I made like a whole video about like how I thought Broly was like, he was a great character, the original one. And it's like, I said at some point in that video that it's like, I hope Super never got him. And I hope the anime doesn't get him. I hope he's just like a movie exclusive for the rest of the time. Because if they put him on a show, like, it's going to ruin his character. It will ruin his character. Broly is good. But the less of Broly you see, the better he is. Because there's less chances of... Like, you can't fuck a character up if there's not a lot of them to go around. It's like, keep this standard of quality with this character. Keep this standard of quality. That being said, I still think that the old Broly's a better character. It's just like, he's a different type of character now. And that's my movie review. That is the review right there. This video is over. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Highly recommended. I'm not saying illegally stream it, but I mean, you know, hey, you do what you gotta do if you haven't seen the movie. And I'm out. Goodbye.